This is Professor Nelson with the Jewelry Design Department at the Fashion Institute of Technology, doing another tutorial for basic rhino modeling, JD138. Working on our cuff bangle project. First thing I need to do is to bring in my image for the background. So to do that, I will go to Viewport Layout, place Background Bitmap, pick up our cuff instructions file, drop it in the back. Turn off my grid for now, I don't really need it. Okay, I need to create a 1-inch square in the center of my drawing, because that's what this is. So I need something proportionate to that in the drawing itself. To create that, I'll use rectangle center corner, starting at 0. Type in 25.4. Goes 25.4 millimeters equals 1 inch. Type in 25.4 again, and there's my square. I'm going to paste that in, copy and paste, and bring it up. Place it on my bitmap image, over my bitmap image, and scale it. Regular scale. Although I want end snap. There we go. Okay. Going to use Orient bitmap. So right here is align background bitmap. Base point is on the big square corner. Reference point, little square corner. Target point on the C-plane, smaller square, and smaller square. That reduces it to the right size. Now I want to center my drawing up here. To do that, I'm going to draw a rectangle. Corner to corner is fine. I'm going to move that down onto my drawing. My drawing is not necessarily the same proportions as that square, but it gives me a place to begin. Move it out until it captures that end. Move it up until it captures the highest part, highest point in my drawing. Now do a non-uniform scale. Scale it in X. Scale it in Y. Z I want to keep 1, so I just hit enter. Every closed rectangle like this has a center point. We'll use that object snap to position our drawing. So move bitmap, center snap, touch the edge of the rectangle to get the center of it, and 0 to move it to the middle of our drawing. Okay. If I want to, in case I want it for reference, I can move that rectangle the same way. Enter, center snap, 0, 0. And my drawing is now centered up in my file. Bring back my grid. Okay. Now I've already drawn this. It's right here. Okay. My drawing may have distorted or changed a little as I drew it. That's fine. It's my drawing. I can do that if I want. But I just want to show you how you bring the background bitmap in. Now that I have it in, I can turn it off. By clicking on Hide Bitmap. Okay. I would like to compare it to the finished drawing. Make sure that I did several variations of this. And as you can see, this drawing is a little bit fuller with rounded corners, so this is actually the one I want to go with. Okay, so turn that one off. Actually, I'll move this one up out down from storage curves onto top view lines. Turn that layer off. Move this back down using grid snap, and I'm ready to model or to begin my maquette. That's the first step of our project, is to make a maquette of the project. To begin doing that, I need to determine how many elevations I have, and I need to break this down into solid outlined portions that I can use, that I can work with. So my repeat think it out. My repeat. Okay, I have two things here. Don't want that. Alright, duplicate information. My repeat, it runs from here to here. Okay. And that just continues down. It does something a little different at the ends, but for now this is good. I'm going to Control C, Control V, put it on a new layer, turn off my green layer, and reconstitute this as something I can actually make a drawing with. So curve, blend curve, adjustable. That looks pretty good. Okay, I can't have this scrolly piece for now, so I will just do a fillet to remove it. Join these together, join these together, same thing, join these together, and join these together. Alright, I don't want these to end right at this, I want an overlap to take place, so I'll engineer that right now. Extend by arc to point. And I'll just bring it back in here. I'll do a curve perpendicular and snap. Excuse me. F enter for from first point. Pull that down. I'll extend the bottom one now. I don't want it to be visible, so I'll make sure it misses that point. Perpendicular again. From. Okay. Rhino's being stubborn. I want this to come directly off of this point right here. If I do that, for some reason, Rhino refuses to let me play. It might be because it's getting the two of these confused. I will go ahead and fill it. There are two curves in the same space. Rhino may have a hard time picking which one I want. I'm going to hide that one. Now there should be no confusion for Rhino. From first point. There we go. Unhide this one. And I'm going to pick a curve off of here, bisector. Bisector will allow me, end of my first angle, second angle, it'll create a line that bisects these two angles, splits them, splits the difference. That's nice. Not going to join things together yet, so that one's done. The next one, I'm going to need to turn this back on so I can see. I'll extend by arc to point again. Okay. Actually, I'll lock this layer to make sure I don't extend the wrong curve. I only want to extend the white one. Something like that should be good. Perpendicular. F enter, so from first point. Extend by arc to point. This looks good. I don't have to do any averaging there. It's a normal enough looking relationship between all the curves. Okay. So, these are my two pieces. I don't want any poly curves, so I'm going to go ahead and rebuild. It's 36 now. Curve that long with that much detail should actually be capable of being handled with about 24 points. Take a look at it. Change the curvature just a touch there. That's fine. Same thing here. Yeah, I'm okay with that. More concerned about this getting ugly than I am about subtle changes in here. I'm going to do the same thing here. So 24, 24 all the way around. Okay. Actually, changed my mind. On these that come around, this should require more points. I just want to make sure that it stays nice, so I'll boost that up to 30. This one as well. And keep the shorter ones, the simpler ones at 24. Alright, not that critical, guys, just my own preferences. Join that together, join that together. Go into my perspective viewport. And there's the basic elements for my design. I'm going to bring this back and look at it. Okay. I have an over and under thing going on. So this goes over. And then it comes under. This goes under. Stays under and comes over. Okay, so I want to get a feeling for that. Okay, I'm going to use the technique I showed you for making a leaf. Going to go ahead and I can just drag a surface like this, it'll be fine. Surface tools, rectangular plane, corner to corner. These are maquette surfaces, so they will not survive. That's why I'm not terribly concerned about the quality of the surface and whatnot. Copy, paste, move. So I have one for both. Okay. I want these both to have the same relative thickness. And I declared the minimum thickness to be, I believe, 2.5 millimeters. That's 2 millimeters. I'm going to want it thicker than that, I can tell. For the sculptural detail and whatnot I have here, I'm going to want it thicker. So, I'm going to grab both of these, and I'm going to move them up to about what I feel right now would be my maximum thickness. That would be something like that. I'm going to rebuild both of these. 5.5? That should work. That will make it 6.6. Both of them. I'm going to change their colors on one of them so that I can tell them apart. Okay. And then I'm going to project my curve up onto it, recording history. I do not want to delete the input. Make sure that's delete input equals no, otherwise history won't go along. Pick my surface, hit enter. I want that line to be clearly visible, so I'll make sure it's also white while it's selected. I can make sure the other one works by making sure I'm on the white layer when I do it. Record history. Okay. Want to make sure my history is working. Turn on my control points. Grab the back row for each surface. Vertical C-plane. Move it up. Yeah, my curves followed. Alright, I'm happy. So, going back again to my drawing. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, this surface didn't go up enough to catch the edge of that. There, move the surface and the curve updated for me. Alright, so again, this is high, this is low. Okay. Turn on my points. Lock my white layer. I don't want to select curves accidentally. And I'm going to move these two down. Now, I don't really want these to come down to more than 2 millimeters. I mean, to less than 2 millimeters in thickness. So there's a couple of ways I can do it. This is the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to project those to C-plane. And yes, delete the input object. That put them right down on the control, on the C-plane. And then I'm going to vertical C-plane, back into front, and move them up 2 millimeters. So constrain the distance to, hold down the shift key. Well, that's interesting. It was already under 2 millimeters. That is interesting. Well, since that's the thinnest I really want to go, the rest has to go higher, and I would like to know how much higher it's going to go. So I'll do the same thing. Project to C-plane, that's C-enter on our shortcuts. Y. Front C-plane, M-enter. Move from, click anywhere. And I'm going to take that up to 4 millimeters for starters. Okay. Take a look, see what I think. It's too much. Move, M-enter, click, let's see how it works in relationship with the other. Okay. Here, this has to be high, and the back has to be low. So, grab the front 3 rows, top C-plane, project to C-plane, enter, vertical C-plane, click anywhere, and hit enter because the 3 is what it was last time. Grab these back 2 rows, top C-plane, project to C-plane, enter, vertical C-plane, pick anywhere, type in 2, enter. Hold down the shift key to constrain ortho, and there we go. Okay. Does it feel like enough? Actually, I think it does. I think it does. I might allow the low end to drop down a little more, because I kind of want to keep it consistent. I'll turn on these points and these points. I will lock the dark brown for a minute. Grab those 2 rows, unlock the dark brown. Shift key to add to selection. Grab those 2. And enter. Bring it down a little bit. Okay. This was actually set to the same as this was 2 millimeters over here. I'm going to do the same here. Project to C-plane, delete input, yes. Vertical C-plane, enter, click to enter. So that these 2 are doing about the same thing. That's pretty nice. Take a look at my drawing again. That should work. Let's see if it does. Okay. I want to keep these. Good. So I need to make a selection. Capturing both of them. Control C, Control V. Change their layer to blue. That way I can keep working with this without breaking history. Okay. I can use this to trim that away. And I can use this to trim that away. I can extrude this straight down. There we go. Remember we talked about how it's C-plane dependent? If I want it to go up and down, I gotta go into the top C-plane. I don't want both sides option. I don't care how deep, I'll let it go very deep. I want it to go deeper than the ground. I know that much. Same thing here. And I can just accept the same distance by hitting enter. That'll be fine. Go into my front C-plane. cutting plane, 0, enter, shift key, pull to one side, trim off the bottom. Join these together, join these together, use this to I'll make a copy of this. Use this one to trim. I copied that to clipboard. Join these together. Paste that back in. Use this to trim. Join that together. And there's a maquette showing me some basic elevations. I'm going to group these together. I don't need the curves anymore. I'll just keep clicking on them accidentally if I leave them, but I'll Control G. I'll group those together. I want to lay these out now along my design. So, project so that all my points go down to the C-plane. M-enter. I'll grab the end of the inside of that scroll just because it's I should do copy. Transform, copy. Grab it. Now that's interesting. If project is on, and I grab the end of that, we have something interesting here. I believed I only had one pattern, and since it's been a while since I've done this piece, go ahead and group these together first off. Make sure that at least what I know is working is working. Yeah. I'm thinking this might be a little too thin right here, but I want to have plenty of room to make that pretty scroll. So if I make it too high, it's going to limit how round that scroll can get, and I don't want that to happen. Would love to know how I came up with this pattern about now. I'm going to try mirroring it. Absolutely not what happened. Okay. I'm going to just copy and paste it. And I went into the top view here. And I'm just going to move it. No, that's not what I did either. I'm going to try a rotation. Copy equals yes around 0. Enter. No. Interesting, but no. Okay. I may have to draw another element, although that seems impossible to me. It seems impossible to me that there is no way just because I can't believe I would do that. Let me see what happens if I move the whole thing. doesn't work. Let's see what happens if I move the whole thing to here and then rotate it. No. Mirror. Okay. There we go. It's a mirror, is what it is. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Move that back, mirror it. And then move the mirrored element into position. Okay. For some reason, I have a little craziness going on. Okay. I really don't want to draw twice. I'm being very stubborn about it. It is the same element. I've just moved it and rotated it around to get what I want. Okay, so I'm going to do a new command you haven't seen before. Orient 2 points. I do not want to copy and I do not want it to scale, so the defaults are perfect for what I want to do. I'm going to grab this end here and this end here. I'm going to find those same 2 points on my drawing. And there we go. Okay. There are subtle differences. There are. I have to decide if those differences are important enough for me to redraw it, and they are. Apologize, class. You get to watch me do some more. Okay, so I need to pick up one of this element. Okay, doesn't matter which. That'll do fine. Control C, Control V, and running out of colors, dark blue. Turn that off. Oh, there's nothing here. That's all a guess. Okay, works for me. Blend curve. Quick, I'll do adjustable. It's fine. 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 Okay. Same process as before. Join. Trim with a fillet. Extend in like we did before. Extend by arc to point so we have a decent overlap. Curve perpendicular, and from endpoint option, extend by arc to point. of spill outside, so that should be fine. Fill it. Okay, the other end I'm going to need to bring my drawing back so I can make sure I get it right. Extend by arc to point. Somewhere into here would be fine. Perpendicular from to here. Extend by arc to point. I don't think that comes in far enough, frankly, at that point, so I'm going to take it a little farther and do an averaging. Bisect curve. Fill it. Okay. Rebuild. Short curves were 24. Long curves were 32, I believe. And now I can join them. Okay. Now, the thing I'm going to want to do though is I'm going to have to sculpt these in the same way as I sculpt the others. Alright, I'm going to want to steal these two surfaces. Copy and paste it. Change it to color of the layer. Okay. Gonna lock the two original ones so I don't select them accidentally. And move the new ones until they capture my new curves. Keep it as similar as I can. Okay. Center them up well. That's pretty good. Question is whether or not those same overs and unders work well. I'm going to record history. Project. Record history. Project. I think it should be the same. Let's take a look for sure. Yes. Okay. So, we're going to hope that our maquette will prove this out, hopefully. By the way, I would still like to keep a copy of these guys safe, so select all of that, control copy, control paste, change layer. What have I got left? Purple. Do my trimming. And my extruding. Cutting plane, 0 enter, shift key, pull to the side, trim, copy that out of Rhino with Control-C so I can lose it in this trimming operation. Join it to the bottom here. Interesting. That should have created a closed poly surface, and it didn't. I'll have to ask myself why in a minute. Paste, trim, join. Did it twice. Alright, before I bother with that, take a look and see if this is working. It's a little close. It's a lot close here. Okay? And that means I either have to keep that down or raise that up. And that's consistent. Okay? So both of these. Okay. Well, that's why I didn't join the top surfaces too. Okay, both of these need to dish through here more than they have. Fine. That's why I kept the originals. So both of them are in the same place. Both of them are through here. So it's that row of points. Actually, no, it isn't. It's this row of points. See how shallow that is right there? Okay. Vertical C-plane. Move. Better. Would like a little more relief. So I'm actually going to select the next row of points as well and move them down just a bit. That should work. Select the whole ball of wax here. Control C, Control V, change layer with Control D to purple, OK. Turn off the originals. Trim. Trim. Extrude. C-plane dependent. To extrude the right direction, I need to be in top C-plane. Vertical C-plane, cutting plane, 0 is my start, shift and hold, pull to the left for my end, Control C, get that out of Rhino for a minute so I can afford to trim these off, and then trim it away with that one. Join all those together, paste that surface back in. Trim it, select those all, join them together, and confirm. A little bit low, but I think it'll be fine because this edge will be curved as well. Okay, confirm my maquette. So this now leads us to the question as to how this is going to be resolved. And how, at the other end, this is going to be resolved. Okay? And, sorry, I'm thinking exactly how I want to approach that. That's going to be a little bit advanced. Not bad, though. Not bad at all. Control G. Control G. Control Shift G, sorry. So, these two are going to require their own solution. Okay, and actually I didn't want to delete these. Yet. Solid, extract surface, top surface, top surface, delete the rest. Each one of these I'm going to duplicate its border, project it to the C-plane. C for project to C-plane, yes for delete the original. Okay. And now I can throw those two surfaces away. Same thing at the other end. Extract surface. Extract surface. Throw the rest away. Duplicate borders. Project the borders to the C-plane. C enter. Y enter for yes. Delete the two surfaces. So now I have my curves. Alright. The challenge is determining which surface belonged to which. Okay. This belongs to the orange, so Control C, Control V, and I will move it into position. Using the related geometry. Okay. I have some question though, actually. I'm mistaken. This is actually which is it? Okay, it is the purple, so I was right. Okay. And that covers this curve. For the other curve, that's the blue. And for the blue, I need the brown or the red. I need the red. have project on my object snaps so that I don't move this thing up and down in space, because I really don't want that. Got it. Okay, so record history, project to C-plane. I mean to project surface. Delete equals no. Okay, so I've got that one. Record history. Project to C-plane. Delete equals no. Now, my challenge is that in the drawing, this ends right in here. Okay, so from here on forward, I'm going to project to the C-plane. It should have taken, yeah, it did. It took the curves with it. Good. Okay. And this surface is from here forward. Okay. Now I'm going to move all of these up to 2 millimeters. And I'm going to move the red points up to 2 millimeters, holding Shift key. And once I've done that, in theory at least, you know what, this can be 2 millimeters flat. Oh, that makes my life much, much easier. Much, 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 much easier. Okay, I was experimenting to see what I could do here, because that's what you do with a maquette, but actually it's all very simple now. Okay, fine. I will turn on the points. Select all of them. Top C-plane. Project them all down and move them all up to. It's a flat surface, 2 millimeters off the ground. Grab all the points, top C-plane, project to C-plane, vertical C-plane, move them all to. Yes. And once I've done that, what you can see is that this overlaps without any problem. This works just fine. Okay? So I have a few options as to how I might want to handle that. Now that I know this, one of the easiest this little curve element. Top Z plane, project to surface. I'm not even going to bother with recording history. So I have that in place. Okay. All I need really is a surface big enough to hold all the information 2 millimeters off the ground. Easiest way to draw that surface is to pick a color, plane corner to corner without project. That gives me one large plane. I can delete that. I can delete that. I can turn on my curves. Okay. That I'll keep. What I need is that little cap right there. Oh, can't have it. Alright, fine. Alright. Trim. Oh, that's locked. That's why. So we've got that much. And trim here as well. Oh, that didn't go well. I'm just trying to take the pieces is all I'm trying to do, guys. I'll do whatever I have to beg, steal, or borrow the pieces that I want. Trim. If I trim that, it'll lose this piece over here too, so split. Broke some history, that's alright. We're at the point where we'll be doing a lot of that. Okay. Use this curve to trim away that. This curve. Trim away that. Throw this curve away. Okay. Join those all together. I will want to do a lot of rebuilding to make this elegant when all is said and done. But for the purposes of a maquette, it's fine. Okay, I'm going to extrude it. Since I know it needs to be 2 millimeters, I'm just going to type in, make it solid equals yes. Type in -2, and that'll create the whole block of material for me. So there's that end. Okay. The process will be the same, I'm assuming, for this end down here. Becomes a little more complicated though. Yeah, this is more complicated. This end is more complicated because down at this end I have under and over to work with. I do have these differences happening. So I do have this piece that I threw away, I'm actually going to need. I'll go back and get it. Undoing. Control C. Redo, Control Y. Nothing to redo. Paste them back in. Okay. So, this one presents the challenge of how to handle it, because I could just keep the over and under. That would be wonderful and ideal, but I have a rounded tip which won't allow it. This surface here has to drop down to 2 millimeters. So I've got to figure out how to go about doing that. I'd like to tell you it'll be easy. It probably won't be. It probably won't be. The same thing I was trying to do before over there, that I did do, that I brought the surfaces over and experimented with them to see which ones went where. That's what I'm going to have to do. I know that for this, I need to use this surface. And bring it over. But you know what? This is becoming dry and long. I will stop here for this video. The purpose of this is to show you the kind of process you need to go through with your piece. Okay? It's not to show you me working all the way through mine. Oh, but it feels like I'm cheating. So fine. Control C, Control V, and enter. Project back on just so I don't get any distortion. So I have that. Okay. Solid. Extract surface. Actually, I may already have the curves here from before. No, I don't. Extract surface. Duplicate border. Throw away the original surface and the extrusion beneath it. Okay. Now that is not attached. Oh, there's the original curve right there. This is not attached to that surface at all, so I'm going to take the one on the ground, record history, and project it up so that I can manipulate this and get what I need. I'm going to have to do the same thing here. This purple surface is controlled by the dark brown right here. So I will Control C, Control V, move that down, object snap to here, and then it's the same process. I should already have this curve in place. I do. Record history, project. And with these two now, I should be able to make the endpoint meet. This is climbing up, so it won't matter if this gets even lower here. I want as much at 2 millimeters as I can get. Front C-plane, 2 millimeters straight up. Okay. This is more of a challenge because I need to keep the elevation here. but I can lose that right through there. I'll do the same thing here. Top C-plane can project, front C-plane, so I can move back up 2 millimeters. I'm going to break some history here. Fine. Fine. I still don't have a meeting here, which is very frustrating. I wish there was a really easy way to get that perfect, but there isn't. That's already at 2 millimeters, and if I take that, I'm going to have more of a problem. So I'm going to rebuild this surface, and it was at 6.6. I'm going to make it at 9.9. Grab this row of points that I've now added. Top C-plane, project, front C-plane, M-enter 2. That is much closer. It's still not enough. Make sure that the rebuilding didn't create a bit of a weave. I'm going to grab all of those points, project them. Okay, it's still not working. F5. Go to 12 by 12. Turn on the points. Top C-plane, front C-plane, M-enter 2. Okay. I'm starting to get problems here because the front of this is attached. Alright. So I'm going to call it good. Actually, what I would actually do at this point is I would acknowledge that I have a serious surfacing challenge to overcome. And with that, I would just stop it. I would cut off the end of that there. Borrow this curve. Extrude that straight up. Trim this off here. Borrow this to close off the end, so it at least looks decent. And now I've discovered where one of the trickiest parts of my model is going to be. One of the trickiest regions of my model is going to be right in there. Okay. That's one of the goodnesses of this step of the modeling process, is to find out where your challenges lie. Okay. So that's the basic maquette for my bracelet. I still have to figure out my stone settings. But this gives me a good sense of what the overall three-dimensional feel of my piece will be. Okay, And in fact, okay, yes, I can take this curve, and they're the same length, use it as a flow curve, right? Take all of my objects, group them together. I have to move them so that they are below this line, or at least the 2 millimeter elevation, which is in here, is below this line. Okay? Where my piece is meant to be 2 millimeters should be at that blue line, because that blue line represents this outside curve, which is 2 millimeters off the wrist. Grab it, transform, flow along curve. Grab that. And that will give me a chance to take a look at my piece flowing around the wrist. Okay, so that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching.